Ice water cold therapy. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. This is going to be a tip of the day. Have you ever heard of ice water cold therapy? And I'm talking cold. And it's not just drinking ice water. That's, of course, drinking ice water. But this is immersing yourself in ice cold water. We just did a video on which you can call cryotherapy, which is cold water therapy. And what a beautiful thing to be able to really do the opposite of what we do in the sauna, which of course is increasing the amount of heat in your body in the sauna so you sweat. So the opposite of that would be cold therapy. And cold therapy, of course, is going into about 42 degree water and staying in as long as you can handle. And sometimes in the beginning you're going to maybe be able to do that for, if you're lucky, for 2 minutes. And if you can work your way up a little bit at a time. Yesterday I did 12-minute session, 42 degrees, and wow, what a life-changing experience. We have 11 participants at the Earther Academy retreats, and they're on their 11th day of fasting. And each of them were trying the cold water therapy, remember, when they're fasting. So when you're in the cold water, what do you think happens? Your body gets this cold, deep sensation all the way to the bone. And that's what actually hurts the most, is your legs and the calves and the arms. That's what I felt the most, because of the deep, cold, deep sensation. It aches, but it's what it's doing is stimulating your system opposite of the heat. So if you haven't heard of this type of therapy before, it's a good idea for you to look up Wim Hof. And he's also called the Iceman. What an incredible guy. Joe Rogan did a 2-hour interview with him, and so did Vice too. Just look him up, Iceman, Wim Hof, and you'll learn that this is not just some type of therapy that really doesn't have any science back into it, but it has a lot of different science. And this guy has changed a lot of the ways we think about, well, dealing with cold. He hiked Everest in his shorts. Okay, with a lot of different types of things that you couldn't even imagine. Okay, being able to control your body with your mind. So I watched probably about 5 hours worth of his videos and really learning a lot of the different techniques that he teaches, the breathing techniques and just the mind over matter, and what this does and maybe what it can do with maybe helping you with your depression. Because remember, what you're doing is you're resetting your body. You're going as deep as you can go with cold. And then what I do is I go into the sauna and take the heat and warm myself back up. And then I go jump back into the water again. And you can do that 3, 4, 5 times. So, you know, he's got world records in being able to deal with the cold. 80 minutes in the cold in Einstein College, doing different types of scientific research with his blood to see how all these different factors inside the body deal with this super cold, which would usually kill anybody, is because you're not really used to this cold, just like overheating yourself would kill somebody too. Remember, your body has to deal with either cooling itself down when you overheat yourself, or you have to be able to, when you're cooling yourself down, you have to figure out your core temperature has to be able to be smart enough to learn how to increase its heat, even though it's being frozen. So anyways, this is actually one of the best ways, as he was talking about, and I feel the same way. I mean, incredible feeling from going into the cold and dealing with it. The first few minutes, again, it's going to hurt a lot. Your arms start to tingle, your legs tingle, they ache, and after about 2 or 3 minutes, your body sort of likes this cold, and you'll feel it go deep into your core. So what they say is it actually will help you with depression, It'll reset your system, okay, as far as even your immune system. Remember, you're trying to increase your B cells, your T cells, okay, your immune system cells by freezing the inside, not freezing, but taking it down to a super cold temperature and starting, well, your body from scratch to reheat itself back up. So anyways, just wanted to introduce this to you, and if you haven't really learned about ice therapy, it's free. I go to Home Depot, buy myself a big, it's a about 125 gallon tank made for feeding cattle, and it's a food grade tank. Fill it up with water. Of course, make sure you have a filter on it if you can. You don't want to be sitting in chloride. You don't want to be sitting in fluoride, chloramines, and all that kind of stuff. But we have rainwater here, so it's really easy. And then what I did was I froze big pieces of ice, or you can go ahead and buy, big blocks of ice if you want to, or big bags of ice at the store, and get yourself a temperature gauge and get in at about 42 degrees or so. And the easiest way to do that is to be able to heat yourself up first, and then, sweat, and then get into the ice bath. And the ice bath is miraculous. It is a testimony of mind over matter, because most people can't handle 30 seconds. So we had most of the participants yesterday go ahead and try this, and the first time they went in, it was very hard for them, but actually once they went into the heat again and then tried the second session and saw other people be able to do 5 minutes and 6 minutes, okay, and 7 minutes, then of course they went ahead and in their mind they already know that it's can't be done, because like I said, most people couldn't imagine being able to dunk themselves in that type of cold. It's just because of the ache is just over the top. And when you get done, you'll find out that your body is so energized. Remember, the retreat people yesterday were on 11 days fasting with water. And most of them tried 2 minutes and 3 minutes, and then they went into the sauna, heated back up again, and then they went up to 4 to 5 minutes. And all of them said that it was so energizing, and just sort of like giving yourself a makeover of resetting yourself from putting yourself to the coldest that you've ever probably been in your life, and letting your body come back to this core temperature of what you call yourself, maybe 98.6 degrees. So we were lucky the sun was out, so you go out in the sun and you move your body back around again, because you want to follow a lot of the protocols that Wim suggests, just because he's an expert in ice therapy. And like I said, if you haven't seen the Iceman, look him up on Google. And a good one for you to watch is the one that Joe Rogan did, and also Vice did also. So you can see this incredible man, what you can do to break the limits of just, well, what we thought that physiology couldn't handle before. And going back today, we're just going to go work out and do legs, and then we're going back and we're going to start another session at 12 o'clock today. And like I said, I feel that this therapy is a, well, simple therapy to do, because all it is submersing yourself in cold water. And there are different types of, companies that do the nitrogen, go minus 80 degrees, then the cryotherapy tanks, but that's expensive. And I think, just like Wim says, that it's superficial cold. And it's much better to use the water, because the conductivity in water, your body is just submersed in water, and it can't get away from it. The nitrogen is more superficial, because you go into these cryo tanks and they charge you, anywhere from $30 to $70 a session, which is very costly, and your head's out of it, or some of them are your heads in the tank. And anyways, I think this is a very valid therapy, and we'll go ahead and study this more. And again, therapies are to be learned and practiced, and let's see what it does to you. And as always, you remember, you always start therapies very slowly. Maybe go in for 2 minutes at first, and then work your way up to maybe a 3-minute session, and then work your way up to a 4-minute. I've never done this before, and I just did 12 minutes only because I was holding the big blocks of ice on my chest. Anyways, guys, we're having another retreat starting March 1st, and if you're interested coming up, this group that we had this time, what a beautiful group, with the support group that you have here to be able to do water fasting and learn a lot of different protocols and workshops and lectures hands-on, so you could really take a lot of this information home with you and take it into your world back home. So learning it is one thing just by watching videos, but actually being in a facility. Okay, and we've built this facility, the Earth Academy Retreats. I've spent, I won't even tell you, okay, lots of time and energy and money to be able to make the retreat so, it all works efficiently. And remember, we're in Hawaii, the most beautiful place. We're the freshest air. You've got the green of greens. Everywhere is green here. And again, the support group where you can leave your habits behind, leave your addictions behind, and reset yourself, rebuild yourself, and renew yourself. Okay, guys, this tip of the day is a little longer than normal, again, but look into ice therapy. And one of the best ways I found out is to be able to get in. You can't just jump in when it's cold. Okay, get yourself hot first, and then slide in. Bring it up to your neck. You can even, at the end, put your head underwater for 10 seconds. And wow, talk about, the cold water going into your eyes and your head. It just resets yourself and gives you just massive energy when you're finished. And you feel like all of a sudden, just like you were healed emotionally and, maybe mentally. Is because a lot of the research is going to be pointing towards helping you with your depression. Remember, you can eat a lot of junk, and that'll definitely kill you. But you know what? A lot of people, they have a lot of things eating their mind. What's eating their mind is sometimes more stressful in killing you than what's eating your body. Okay? So anyways, keep a understanding of that. Okay, we'll see you guys. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to have my piece of fruit before I work out for explosive energy. Remember, I'm on the flesh, animal-based diet right now. And I'm still intermittent fasting. I will not have my lunch until about 12 or 1 o'clock. And I have my dinner at about 7 or 8 o'clock. So I'm going to have still between 15 to 18 hours in between meals. And I only mix my carbs, which of course I'm not having any carbs with my meals at all right now. And it's healed my gut. Watch our videos on healing my gut. And we've done a lot of good videos just over the last couple of weeks. So Rethinking Reality is a lot of good videos for just you to rethink reality. Okay, guys, beautiful day in Hilo. Sun is out, got real clouds going. And again, this tip of the day is a little longer just because, how do you explain ice therapy? Sort of sounds crazy. Just like how do you explain distilled water fasting? Sounds a little crazy. Why? It's because it's maybe extreme to those that have not tried these therapies before. Even an enema is extreme for most people. So just wanted to bring these to the forefront because these are therapies that are free basically, and you can do them at your home. Okay, guys, we'll see you on the next video. Aloha, and whew. Today's spa day. It's Sunday, so take care of yourself. All right. Aloha.